Hi, my name is David Stanton, and I'm with AtlasRising.io. Today's updates and insights will be about the solar panel base. Now, this is the solar panel base. This is what the solar panels will be mounted onto. Now, as you see, it's incredibly lightweight. And if you go into YouTube videos, you'll find a lot of people who will build a structure out of steel or maybe aluminum. And the finished product here will be 20 feet wide by 20 feet long. So it's got to be very, very strong. But when you get something that large, it becomes very, very heavy and very difficult to manage and maintain. What we have here is a panel that it's not a fiberglass panel, it's not carbon fiber. It is a laminate that I came across, and this covering here, this material, will withstand 25,000 psi. In other words, if I wanted to puncture this, it would take 25,000 psi to puncture. Now, let me tell you a bit about the internal structure of this particular panel. Back when I was going to college, I had a job working at an aircraft company. And what they would do is they would take O2O aluminum, in-cut balsa wood, and then another layer of O2O aluminum. Now, these are two products that are very lightweight, that have no strength. Balsa wood you can crumple in your hands, and a Coke can you can crumble in your hands. But when they would laminate it together, that material became indestructible. So in the aircraft industry, they could use this for headers and bulkheads, and it wouldn't really add very much weight to the plane at all. So that's got my interest. That's really when I discovered, laminates. And this panel internally is constructed much the same way. So it's very, very strong, very, very rigid, and almost impossible to destroy. And this is the spline right here that's attached. Our gear motor will be attached here, and this will allow for movement this way or this way. I sit down with my attorney, and I told him the process in building this, and I wanted to get a patent on it, and he says this definitely qualifies for a patent. However, after going through the process, several times with him, he suggested not filing a patent, and here's why. If you file a patent, then you've got to go through and disclose every little detail. So if there's ever a question, you can go to the judge and say, this is my product because here's where I file the patent. It does this, this, and this. The problem with that is now I have to publish that to the world. And it's going to be very difficult to prevent people from copying this, especially on an international level. So what he suggested instead was to simply take the product, write it down, and file it as a trade secret. Now, a trade secret is disclosed to people on a need-to-know basis. But here's the important thing. The trade secret still has an asset value to it, just like a patent would. So if you consider Coca-Cola, that form has been they've tried to buy it, they've tried to steal it, they tried to do all kinds of things to get the formula for Coca-Cola, but it's a trade secret. So not even the CEO and board of directors can get the formula for Coca-Cola. Only people can get the formula are the people that need to know. And even that is kind of split among different departments. So with that idea, this panel is going to be a trade secret. Now, when I build the final product that will be 20 feet wide by 20 feet wide, that will hold probably close to 2,000 watts of solar panels, but yet the base panel itself can easily be, held by just, one person, and it can easily be manageable. And with the laminates, it makes it incredibly strong. Now, if it's not strong enough, what I would do is simply put another layer of material on here, and now that gives me a tensile strength of 50,000 psi. Now, this will be a mock-up, and I'll have this up and running in the field to demonstrate exactly how this all fits together and how it works. But the internal structure is a laminate and of these various materials that make it really incredibly strong. Now, let's talk just a minute about the gearing mechanism. The gearing mechanism will give me two axes, X and Y control, and it will be powered by some actuators that are very low cost but high torque actuators, and the way that it's being built will give me a lot of strength in rotating and tracking. If the solar panels are on a panel that's tracking the sun, you actually end up with 40% more energy from the sun. So in closing, I'll just kind of remind you that the bulk of the revenue that comes from mining through solar would go to pay a reward if you're owning the rising tokens. A small percentage would go for maintenance, and then a medium amount will go to add more solar panels so that the solar farm will continue to grow, continue to add more rewards to the token holders. Okay guys, thanks for watching, and be sure and contact me at support@atlasrising.io if you have any further questions.